Hi, I'm Katie,
And I'm Yarlin.
and this is Fae and Fables, a podcast hosted by two mental health counselors who take a psych deep dive into your favorite fantasy and romantasy books. Today, we're going to be covering Crown of Midnight, which is the second book of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah.
Oh, we are fired up. Please note that this episode contains spoilers for books 1 and 2 of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. That includes Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. Also, there are several potentially triggering themes that we discuss, including discussions of enslavement, colonization, violence and gore, sexual assault, war, and imprisonment, among other things. Also, we use explicit language, and there is adult content included in this episode. So if those are things that you do not want to hear, come on back some other day, have a chat, and we'll see you then. Also note that this podcast is hosted by two licensed mental health counselors, but it should not be used to diagnose, treat, or address any individual mental health concerns or conditions. Any knowledge, opinions, experiences that we express are related to our own experiences, our own lenses, and should not be applied to your treatment. This is just for fun, and if you feel like you need mental health treatment, please seek it out on your own for individualized mental health care. And I think those are our disclaimers.
All right. So we're going to kind of go through the order of events. We are going to be going into our rankings and ratings. So that's where we're going to talk about our star rating, our chili peppers, and then we're going to get into our plots and thoughts, teehee, therapy deep dive, future thoughts and theories.
Yes, I'm so stoked to be talking about this.
I am so excited because I got off the audiobook right now and I'm ready. I'm kicking at the door.
She came in busting down the door. And I did not tell you this before we started recording, but I listened to the last hour and a half, 2 hours on audiobook.
Oh my goodness. Because Katie's not an audiobook girly.
I'm not generally, but I went on Spotify and I was like, let me see. And I have Spotify Premium.
Yeah, so you get 15 hours a month.
I didn't know this.
Girl.
So I started listening and I was hooked. I thought it was so good.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think the one downside I will say is I like to be able to highlight stuff and notate. So I don't know if I would do it all the time.
Yeah.
But it was an audio experience. I was really excited. Also, I heard they're coming out with the graphic audio.
Oh, I haven't listened. I haven't listened to a graphic audio yet. But
this is my first audio, so I haven't yet either. But I really enjoyed my time. Really enjoyed it.
I love that you loved it. And yeah, the notes thing, it could be whenever I listen to my audiobook, I usually have my phone close by. So I have my notes app up and that's how I'll put in my thoughts.
You're scheming and
I literally felt like I was red string corkboard like you talk about.
Yes.
Because I swear this one, this book connected with me so much where I'm remembering things from the beginning of where Nehemia was mentioning a few things and then it come up at the end and I'm like, this is all, it all means something.
It's all coming together, in The Hangover when he's going down the escalator and all the numbers are in front of his face. That remember? And I did say, I was like, pay attention to the lore because SJM is tricky with it.
I was paying attention to every little breadcrumb that I thought could be even a breadcrumb.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so into it.
So we're fired up.
So tell me your star rating and your chili pepper.
Okay. So I gave this a 4 out of 5. And that is an elevation of my rating from when I read it the first time. Again, when I read it the first time, I was so focused on the relationships. I was not.
Oh, girl.
It was going over my head. Shit was just passing right by me.
Yeah.
I was not being thorough with it. Now in my third read, I thoroughly enjoy I think the thing I enjoy the most is the lore, is how everything comes together.
I love the magic.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
The magic, the different creatures and things. And it loses a star for me because of these moments of immaturity that I see from her or that I see in the relationships. I also think Sarah J. Maas in this series, especially in the first couple of books, falls into a little bit of a trap that I see in fantasy books, which is so much happens in so little time. Like the span of Kale and Selena's, the good part of their relationship lasts for a week.
Yeah.
And she's talking about it like they've been together for eons. Girl, it's been a week.
And they slept together maybe once or twice.
I mean, I think it was more than that.
Was it?
It was a week of them squirreling around the castle. I think they only describe it
once or
twice. They go into detail a couple of times.
I see.
But she talks about they're constantly all over the castle. Like she's pulling them out of meetings. They're going to broom closets. There's all kind of stuff. So, but again, it's 1 week.
Right.
You're together happily for 1 week. And she's saying some things, and I think I just have to remember that she's 18. Like,
right, it's like it was her first.
Yes.
So,
she had some feelings that I think make sense for her developmental level. The fact that she, this was all new to her, and I have these moments where I'm like, girl, it's been 1 week.
Yeah.
Like you gotta calm down.
Young love.
So yeah, exactly. So there was some stuff in that vein that caused it to lose a star, but overall thoroughly enjoyed. As I listened to the last few minutes on audiobook, I was like shedding a little tear. And again, I know what's gonna happen, but I don't know. I just got swept up in it all over again. So 4 out of 5 stars. And then my chili pepper ratings, 2 out of 5. Like we bumped up a little bit. We had a little spiciness, but it's still YA. We're not describing things in detail. We're like leading up, and then she's like, and then I gave him all I had. ...
Yeah.
And so I don't think, like, if you compare it to Enchantra, I can't really. It's not really apples and oranges here, folks. What about you?
So I don't know. I think I was just in the right mood. This was a 5-star read for me.
Girl. Yes, girl.
5-star read.
Okay.
3 chili peppers. I don't know. I think it did something to me. I think I connected to like the younger self. And
okay. Yes.
And I think I haven't, aside from like Twilight, I haven't read many books that had like a love triangle.
Oh, okay.
So I really dig that, where it was she was just
little.
Yeah, and I was like, I kept being back and forth of like, wait, so like, do I like Kale more or do I like Dorian more? And like they kept both doing like nice things and then not so great things, and
you were just it was a push and a pull, and you didn't know.
And I was into it for some reason. So this was 5 stars.
Oh, I love that. I'm so number one, coming from 2 stars on the first book from you to 5. And I think, is this the first time where you've ever rated a book higher than I have?
Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's, so take it in, folks, because this never happens. I'm usually the 5 stars for everything, girl. So like this is a real come up for you on this series.
And I, like you mentioned earlier about just the type of magic and the creatures, and I loved the fantasy story. I mean, like, we just came back from reading Happy Place, and I'm like, I need fantasy in my veins right now.
Oh yeah.
So when I read Throne of Glass, I was a little slumpy from my last book, so maybe I wasn't too into it, and it seemed a little boring to me.
Yeah.
But this one kicked it up a notch.
It got I think Happy Place might have helped. We both so we went on a little trip ski, and we picked a little book, but it was a contemporary romance, just not our usual thing. Not our usual thing.
But
it got us in the end. Literally.
Times were had
in the morning of the same day. We were like, oh God, this is so mundane and whatever. By the end, destroyed. Emily Henry was cackling wherever she was as we were finishing these books, and just like we were very affected by it and tried
Yeah.
not to be, but we couldn't help it.
It just happened, and I think I just needed to escape. I
We were
needed
like, we need a different world.
I don't need to be questioning my whole life right now. So I definitely needed Crown of Midnight, and it gave me everything I needed.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, let's get into it.
Get
I'm
into
so
it.
fired up.
So for our plot and thoughts, let's kind of recap a little bit of where we're at with Throne of Glass. So Selena is now the champion. She won the competition to be the king's champion. And now in Crown of Midnight, she's working as the king's champion,
Yes.
kind of like doing the king's biddings of killing people who might be against the king and all of that. But she may not actually be killing them, as we find out. So the book kind of starts off, or at least my first note was, I thought was so interesting how she has this secret passageway from her bedroom, and there's other secret passageways in like the library. But I love the little skull knocker.
Yes.
Mort.
Yeah.
He was so cute.
Oh my gosh. And the fact that, so, and I don't know if this was purposeful on Sarah J. Maas's part, but through the whole book, the first book, when she goes into the passageways, you learn all about the passageways.
Yeah.
Mort doesn't show up. He stays quiet the whole first book. And now it's written as though he kind of decides when he deigns to talk to her, which I think is, fine. But I was like, now we've got an interesting magical creature.
So cute.
And it's a little door knocker. He's so sassy.
He is so sassy.
He doesn't answer questions unless he feels like it. So I thought that was a nice addition to the secret passageways layout.
Yeah, so this was like her kind of like seeing Mort and talking to him for the first time was like her initial like, whoa, there's magic, because obviously there's no magic anymore, quote unquote.
Yep.
So she questions him of like, what are you and all of that, and then he tells her everything in this world is magic, old magic. So there's a lot of like, you got to pick up these things, as I literally wrote notes of these things that were just like, okay, this is a possible thing. So, he found it to be the right time to come up and talk.
Yeah.
But so the time that she was in the tombs, there was a lunar eclipse, and I felt like that was important to note. Possibly like for the end of the book, there was something might be connected to that. So in the tomb, she finds a lot of these word marks in the tomb with Elena, and everything seems connected to those blasted symbols.
Yep.
So when she's doing this kind of exploring, she doesn't really know much about them. And Nehemia mentions that or at least she thinks that Cain and the Ritterak is just the beginning of the threat to this world. Or I believe Elena says that to her, no?
Both. I can't remember who brings it up to her. Well, I think it actually is Elena who brings it up to her first, now that we're talking about it. But they both, at various points, Elena and Nehemia both hint at the fact that what you saw with Cain and like the original stuff is not the whole picture.
Right.
And I think it's really interesting to watch Selena at different points try to just be like, I don't want to be involved in this shit. Like,
she just wants to be free.
Like, leave me alone. Let me do my job. Let me have my freedom. And Elena and Nehemia at various points kind of pop up to be like, there's more things to be worried about. And Selena's like, again, okay.
Yeah, because she really doesn't want to be part of it. But, I guess there's a bigger meaning to her in this world. So I can't remember if it was Elena or Nehemia, but there are clues that will lead you to it. To refuse to kill the king's targets is the first small step. So she's already kind of maybe battling that inner dynamic of like, she's an assassin, so she's trying to do the king's bidding and kind of earn her way to her freedom, but now she's like being told like not to kill the people. So I can only imagine what that, how that affects her. And now she's needing to, or at least she's curious to find out the king's source of power. Like, where is that coming from and how he's getting it.
And I think that's a really interesting development from the first book, when he kind of is portrayed as just mostly an asshole, a tyrannical asshole. And you get
Yeah.
hints like, oh, he's got the black ring on or whatever. You get hints of things. But I think in this book, you leave behind the idea that the king is just your everyday level human asshole.
Yeah.
And that he's got he's doing something behind the scenes with
You
the
could, yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
And Selena's picking up on that. And you can see even the way that he's talked about. He, similar to Cain, he gets bigger in size throughout.
Mm.
Like, Kale at one point is riding next to him, and he says, I forgot how big the king, he like looms over me, and I
Wow.
forgot how like imposing he is.
Mm.
And so you kind of track early on that something's up with the king, and it's
Yeah.
not just your everyday stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely got some weird stuff going on. So Selena really wants to find out the source of his power. And so part of his kind of like missions that he's tasking her to do to, assassinate like traitors and things like that, she's actually just faking their deaths. I'm assuming like based off like that advice that was given to her of just like not killing the people. So I wonder what you think that is affecting her. How do you think that's affecting her? Do you feel like it's making things easier for her or harder?
Yeah. So one thing that really sticks out to me is the fact that Selena starts not killing people without really anybody knowing. Nehemia doesn't know this, or Nehemia, sorry. I'm coming from being the reading it on page girly, and I'm realizing I mispronounce Nehemia's name, so I have to like get into the thing of
what did you say?
Nehemia
Nehemia
is the real way, I guess. According to the audiobook. But Selena starts deciding to do this, and she doesn't tell anybody. She doesn't tell Kale, she doesn't tell Dorian, she doesn't tell Nehemia.
Yeah.
And everyone assumes the worst. Everyone assumes the worst, partly because that's her job, and she's being very convincing. She's bringing the battered heads of dead people from like these like basically mass grave places where they're dumping bodies. That's how she's covering it up. She kind of messes up the heads and
not imagine her doing
that. She's like, she has to mess up the dead remains of other people that kind of look like the people she's supposed to be assassinating. And then she goes to the people and says, you've got to get out of here right now, or I'm gonna kill you. And she takes their like family rings and other things to kind of increase the likelihood in the king's mind that it's actually who she says it is. But in order to protect Kale and Dorian and Nehemia, who have Kale and Nehemia have been threatened by the king. Like the king said to Selena, if you don't do what I tell you, first I'm going to go after Kale, and then if you keep not doing what I tell you to do, I'm going after Nehemia and her family and everybody you care about. And nobody knows this except Selena. And so she decides to just go rogue on her own.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine how hard it is for the folks that you really care about, the people you're protecting, to assume the worst of you and to give you these, especially like I feel like there are moments where Kale is really judgmental of her. And she's just taking it. She's like, let them think what they're going to think. And she keeps it to herself for a very long time. So out of a desire to protect her and to protect her friends. And I think what this, how this affects her, one, I think it helps her to not, and I think she even talks about it in this way, like not staining her soul in ways that she doesn't want to carry that burden. The not killing, I think, absolves her of something important in her own mind, that she's not killing in this way. And I think it drives the loneliness that you see in these moments in the book where she's facing things that really nobody knows about or understands. And she's doing it in the face of even like contention or people kind of judging her for it. So I think that the loneliness that comes out of doing things that way, the desire to protect herself and her friends also creates a lot of misunderstanding, and I don't have a better word, but loneliness. It's locking these things down inside of herself and not letting them be expressed. And as counselors, we can see what that does to a person. So I can track how that having to be so in solitude over that impacts her ability to get the care that she needs from the people, even that she loves and trusts and wants to be around.
And I feel like she does seek out the Queen Ellen, just almost for like her advice, because it seems like she keeps going like back to the tomb and like asking her more questions. So it seems like she is the only person that she can maybe like talk to and get this advice from.
And that Elena aggravates me.
I was like Ellen.
Oh, what did you said, Ellen? Ellen, the like 40-year-old's admin assistant in a sweater. No, Elena. If your name is Ellen, I'm so sorry. But Elena, Elena aggravates me at various points. She doesn't show up when it's really needed. You show up in these weird moments where the action's already done. And she's cryptic in ways that and I think she says, I can't stay very long, and you can stay long enough to like comfort me on the stairs and hug me or whatever. If you can stay that long, you could stay long enough to
I wonder what's holding her back though.
That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question you have there. I don't know anything about it.
But that was something I had in mind. I was like, there's, why is it sometimes that she's like, I can't stay long or like whatever, or like she doesn't have enough power to stay long. That's in my mind.
That's neither here nor there. Moving on.
So Selena is sent to kill Archer Finn, who is kind of, I assumed him to be like a sex worker, slave, and a former friend with rumored rebel ties. So the king wants Selena to kill him, and she reconnects with him at a state dinner and uses the assignment as an opportunity to investigate the rebel movement. And he's part of her plan to getting closer to knowing the king's source of power. And when she was getting dressed for this, I thought it was very interesting how Kale saw her in this like seductress like red dress and with like lace and all of that, and he's like, you're not wearing that. In the moment I was like, I don't know if I'm much of a fan of you right now. For so obviously I'm sure he was jealous. What can we conclude to this control of the clothes the jealousy?
So one, I love that in the first time that Selena approaches Archer, because she gets the name and then she sort of concocts a meet cute. She says, if Kale and I hang out outside of this particular restaurant long enough, I know Archer's gonna come out. We can bump into each other, and I could be like, "Oh, Archer, haven't seen you in so long. Oh my god." We later find out Archer knew who Kale was and kind of saw through the ruse, but she strikes up this conversation as a way to get close to Archer, as a way to get the information, and then she sets up this sort of seductive dinner with him.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is the last time she had seen Archer, she was 13 years old at the time, and you get the sense that he kind of was like a big brother figure, bordering on a crush for her.
Yeah.
Like she had a little crush on him, and he kind of put up with her at that age and was nice to her. And so they have their arc starts with some warmth. And I think Kale immediately tracks that. Immediately is like, I don't like what's going on here. I don't like how flirty this is getting. So already before she gets in the dress, he's got his hackles up. And I really like the way Elena handles it, or not Elena, Selena handles it. Selena handles it when they do that meet cute, where she turns to him and it basically says, you need to relax. I
Yeah.
need you to be quiet
Yeah.
and stand there and be a prop. You're lucky I'm letting you come along.
Yeah.
Don't make me regret this. And I kind of like that
Oh,
because
yeah.
he was like, let me come and help you. And she kept being like, no, I don't need your help.
That is where I'm just like, why are they like questioning her abilities? Like she was literally the best assassin.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
Yeah.
was just so annoyed by that.
I think part of I do get the worry for her, not for her abilities, for her brashness. She makes decisions
Yeah,
in
in the
a
moment.
wild way sometimes. And she also isn't telling people what she's doing, really. So I can see, as an
True.
outside perspective, you're doing shit. I don't really understand why you're making these decisions.
Yeah.
And it seems like you kind of pop off the handle periodically out of some thing that I don't understand. So
Yeah.
I try to pull from some empathy there. And I'm Aderlin's assassin. You hired me for this job. I have
Right.
survived so much more than you'll ever know. I think I can handle it. So anyway, she gets in this red dress. Kale's very jealous and tells her she can't wear that. I personally have a strong reaction to that because I don't like people telling me what I can and cannot wear.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of there's a lot of history around women and clothing and how clothing is used
Yeah.
to gain power, how it's used to, distract or to get a point across. There's a lot of history around in times where women were not provided spaces to have voices, where clothes and fashion were the statements that you could make in a societally acceptable way. And she knows what she's doing with this dress.
Oh yeah, for
There's
sure.
a bigger point here. She knows that how she looks in that dress. And so she's making calculations.
Of course.
And Kale's just worried about her flirting with Archer.
Yeah.
and I think what this shows is, one, that Kale is letting his personal feelings override the mission to the detriment of the mission. And that he's willing to try and control what what she wears out of that emotion. In the real world, I think it's I'll see reels or other things where women will come downstairs wearing something really scantily, like they're scantily clad, just to see what their boyfriend's reaction is going to be or their husband's reaction. And the husband's like, no way you're going out in that. And I know it's supposed to be funny, but to me, it's like, if you feel good in that, and this is what makes you feel good in your body, and this is how you want to present to the world, you should be able to do that. Now, I think there are exceptions to any rule. And if you are a person who wants really there's a consensual commitment to respecting your partner's boundaries, I think it should go both ways. Like, if you're uncomfortable with your partner wearing a Speedo in public, you should be able to comment on that just as much as they're commenting on whatever it is you're wearing. But if there's a consensual and mutual commitment to respecting each other's boundaries with dress, I can see some room there for commentary, for saying, hey, I feel kind of weird, or can we talk about this before we go out?
Yeah.
Me personally, it's my body. I think everybody should have body autonomy, should do with their body and dress their body in the way they want to. So I would not respond well to this. And I think Selena has a really cool response in that she's basically says, and she has no intention on sleeping with Archer, but to get back at him for the comment, she's like, I'll see you tomorrow.
So I'll see you tomorrow morning.
I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night. And
what a bad bitch.
Yeah. And he says, what do you mean? And she says, you're a smart boy. I think you'll figure out what that means. And she sashays out. And
she's so badass. Honestly, I love her character so much.
I loved it. I loved that moment. And I was right there next to her being like, I do what I want with my body. I am capable. Don't tell me what to do. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah. So Selena tells Archer that the king sent her there to kill him for being with the rebels, but he says he's not a traitor, and tells Selena about a group that's formed in Rifthold who who wand Aelin Galathynius to be the queen. She is a lost princess, heir to the throne of Terrassian, who is assumed to be dead.
Mhm.
And that's when, the name Aelin is introduced.
And that's, I think, the moment where you see Selena saying there's no way that that's possible.
Yeah.
Archer is, and you get the feeling like he's involved in rebel stuff, but he doesn't confirm fully until later on. But she immediately tracks, like, people are saying that this Aelin Galathynius person is building an army, and I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Interesting that she would think that.
It's so interesting. And it's funny because earlier in the book, Nehemia, when she was with Selena in like the tombs or wherever they were together, she did mention something about Terrassian, and now Selena
I think
was
it's Terrasin.
Terrasin.
I don't want to let you keep doing that, girl.
Okay, Terrasin.
Because we're gonna have the SJM army descend on us. I'm already at Nehemia. I was like, girl, we gotta.
Well, that's the thing, is like when you listen to it on audiobook and then I write down like how I think the wording is
very confusing.
Yeah, so
it's wild.
Please bear with us.
Yeah, please help us.
So Terrasin.
I'm over here. I think the first time, because again, I read it. So when I saw Aelin Galathynius, I was like, Aelin Galathynius. And all my audiobook friends were like, no. And I was like, oh no.
Right. And it's like,
how are you supposed to know?
So it is what it is. So basically, after kind of connecting the dot about the Terrasin comment that Nehemia made, Selena suspects something, and basically she gives Archer 4 weeks to get her info together.
Yes.
And then he will fake his death. So basically,
and she does it in her sassy style.
Oh yeah, she's like, you better get it together, get me what I need, and then you're out of here. Yeah. Which is nice because then he's also free from being like a sex slave and being auctioned off. So I did.
And he does he has bitterness about that. You see it throughout. It really gets to him that he has to be under the thumb of a woman named Clarice, but be under Clarice's thumb. And you would think that the freedom of him not having to do that would be enticing to him.
Yeah. And he even it seemed like he was kind of interested in Selena. And kind of wanted to sleep with her, and he was like, well, this is my choice. I thought that was really interesting too.
Yeah. And I wonder, and she doesn't go into this in depth.
Yeah.
But you can see her trying to track, like, are you being real, or is this a part of your scheme? Like,
because he's a little
he's tricksy.
Yeah, tricksy, a little snakesy.
He's sexy. He's big. He is.
I couldn't imagine what he looks like though.
He's described as like big, sort of broad of shoulder. He's got piercing green eyes, I think.
Okay.
He gave me, and I don't remember what color his hair was, but I pictured like Blackwell, but if he had like
blonde hair,
or like I don't know if it's chestnut. They're regular colored hair rather than the white hair that Blackwell has in Enchantra or Phantasma. But he is, if you look at him, he is objectively, and Selena talks about this, he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And that's why Clarice picked him up as a child.
Of course.
And, all these things. So his just as Selena's whole life has been predicated on this assassin training, his whole life has been predicated on sex work. Yeah, and so he is the projection of what people want in a lover.
Oh, yeah.
And I think when he makes her that offer and he's like, it's different when I choose it. I think she's even trying to scope out, is this a mask? Like, I don't want to play this game, and I don't want to do this with you because I don't know if you're being real or not. And I get that. I wouldn't. I would have some trepidation too.
Yeah. So, basically he invites her to a client's party, to scope out the scene and learn more about the movement that people are talking about, because
Yeah.
he told her that this specific client had been in the talks of like that group that's been forming and all of that. And I think when she gets to that party, obviously she has a plan, and we'll see how that goes, but
And I thought this was an intense moment where I really worried about her ability to keep all of her shit a secret from everybody.
Yeah.
She ends up in the office of the Davis guy.
Yes.
And she murders him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, who's going to cover for you? And Kale weirdly does, but it's one of the first moments where I felt sort of the threads of her plan on keeping everything secret starting to
It's gonna unravel. Yep. So, like you mentioned, she goes into Davis's office and she finds a book. And inside this book, it has word marks, and there's a riddle in it that says, "It is only with the eye that one can see." What does this mean? We do not know
We
yet.
don't know. We don't know right now at this second.
Yeah, but I remember her being like, okay, I'm going to remember this, and when I get back home, I'm going to write it down.
Yeah. And then Davis, the sneaky asshole, he
He's
cuts
like,
her with
"Hey, what are you
cuts her
doing
with
here?"
the poison thing.
Oh,
and
I don't remember that.
Oh, girl. Well, the
Well,
first time I read it, it really scared me because I was like, get out. But he cuts her with a knife that has Gloriella on it.
okay.
And what Gloriella does, there's a couple things that are important about this. For later, maybe.
Okay.
One, she gets cut with Gloriella, and it's a paralytic. And the reason she knows about it is because her ex-lover, Sam, who died, Gloriella was used on him when they captured him and tortured him. Like, they kept him alive, but they dosed him with Gloriella. Which we'll get into
at some
point, maybe.
Yeah.
And so she's like stumbling back she's like, I only have so much time to get back to the castle before I can't move. And she shows up at Kale's door and it's just like, Gloriella, and then passes out. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? So I was frightened for her in that moment, not only for her plans, but was she going to get back to the castle? What's going to happen? It freaked me out.
Yeah. And what was the name of the guy that went in the office? We don't know his name. No, it wasn't Davis who went in, or was it Davis?
Yeah, it was
okay.
And she tried to play it off like, I'm the housemaid, or the housemaid said I could come in here and cry. And he said, okay. And then as she was walking out, he like brandished the knife and he's like, I don't give anybody a key to this house, not even the housemaid.
I remember the key talk of being like, nobody has keys to this office, and that's when he kind of
that's when he went after her and he was like, I'm gonna make you regret this. And then she said, psych, no, I'm gonna make you regret this. And she killed him dead. And she made it back, but it was a tricksy thing.
So I guess she healed at some point, and then she went down to visit Caltaine in the dungeons, to ask questions like if Roland could be trusted. And I know every time these flapping wings comments would come up, I'm like, someone is not just imagining these things. So
what's interesting though is I think Selena writes it off at the time. At this point, she writes off. Caltaine starts talking about the flapping wings, and Selena's like, this girl, she's
on one,
flying on a corn chip. She's gone. So Selena doesn't track anything at that point.
So Caltaine keeps mentioning the flapping wings, and she says something is coming and I am the one to greet it. Which is really interesting. I'm like, what is it that she's greeting and why her? So then Dorian starts to kind of like realize there's strange things happening to him. He shatters glasses and he has like some strange energy that I wonder what it's all about. And then Selena and Kale begin to have their little romance that I
Oh
thought was very
boy.
nice. Very nice.
This is where the bulk of the spice and
Oh,
the
yeah.
teehee moments for me came from,
Of
was
course, yeah.
their 1 week soul changing trysts that they had all over the castle. And what I thought was really interesting is oftentimes it feels like Selena is the one who has really serious shit going on, and then Kale and Dorian are kind of in the background, like, but who are you gonna pick?
Oh, yeah.
And now Dorian's coming into some real shit that's worrisome to him,
Yeah.
and he tracks when he shatters that glass window. The rock splinters and his hand is unhurt. He looks at his hand and it should be, if you punch a stone wall as hard as you can,
Your hand should be broken,
hand should be
bloody.
fucked up.
Yeah.
It's not. And so he really starts, that's the first instance of him really freaking out about something. He's got some other shit going on other than Selena, which is interesting because I feel like it's like Selena's usually the one with other shit going on, and Kale
Yeah.
and Dorian are kind of like, but do you like me? And she's in another universe being like, I have tombs and shit going on. I can't think about this. But now
Yeah.
it's like Dorian's attention starts turning to this growing
Yeah.
these weird instances that keep popping up.
And you know what's interesting now that we're talking about it is, why is this magic coming up for him now?
That's a really interesting question you have.
Because I feel like it would come up before, but now all of a sudden it's happening.
Things are happening.
Very
That's weird.
interesting. Very interesting.
Yarlin is looking into my soul right now. You're giving me like the counselor look when you're like trying to like scan. I'm like, I'm not giving you anything, girl. I'm sure my face is doing something, but I'm trying really hard.
Yeah, so it's very interesting, and we'll leave it at that. So basically she is walking through some secret passageway in the library for around 3 hours. She's like, I think I've been in here for 3 hours.
Like her and secret passageways in places.
Right.
Which it was interesting because, by the time you get to this point, the passageway in her room has kind of become mundane, We're going down the passage. We're back in the tomb. So I thought it was kind of cool that we got a new passageway under the library.
Right. And when I was listening to the book and she was talking about another passageway but described it differently, I'm like, wait, there's more than one? Because I was just imagining the bedroom one. And then now there's the library one. So I was like, okay, there's more than one.
And the library one, the library's kind of a spooky place once you get back to the old records,
Yeah. So she's there and she finds a tapestry hiding a door and a stairwell. So she decides to go through, of course. And she's looking around the walls, and the walls have carvings of a forest, images of fae, because she notices their pointy ears. So I think she makes this comment of like, has there been something here before, or something beneath it to hide? So she's already being a little curious, and I wrote down foreshadowing. And there is an iron door, and she feels like this means something, and iron is the only thing that didn't allow magic. So she's like, is it keeping someone out, or is it keeping someone in?
Yeah. Yep.
So that was a very interesting. And her little amulet started to warm as she tried to open the door. So the amulet is saying, girl, don't do that. It may be a little dangerous.
Yeah.
So I thought this was so cool, and just like I already like envisioned it. She used her dagger and slipped it under the door to try to see, almost using it like a little mirror. And she saw 2 green glowing orbs, which I know how you love that word.
I love when you describe eyes as orbs. It's my favorite. It almost seems vulgar to me. Like, I don't know why.
Orbs just makes it sound like they're more circular,
Yeah, it just sounds, I know it's not sexual, but it's like you're turning eyes. Like,
Yes.
but you're making it scientific somehow too. It's like gross to me. I'm like, why are you saying orbs? Like, it's eyes, okay?
Yeah, so, she sees the glowing eyes, and
This is
she's
when
like,
I
"Whoa."
would freak
Oh, no,
the
yeah. I
fuck
was
out.
freaked.
Spooked. I would like, she like pulls the knife out like really slick.
Yeah.
I would be twitching on the ground and like throwing the knife like
Oh my god,
yeah,
running
yeah,
away.
yeah. Ah! I would not handle this well.
Yeah.
I would not enjoy that. It would really scare me, and I probably wouldn't go back there without a friend or something. I don't know.
But that's why I think this book hooked me in with all of these spookiness.
Mm, mm.
I loved all these things.
I also thought, so this is another thing that Selena several times talks like this, and this was a part of what I don't like. She sees something and then she'll go, I'm just crazy. It's not,
I'm
I didn't see
imagining
that
things.
thing. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just imagining. It was just a,
She did say
she
that.
has these experiences and then she negates her own experiences by being like, I'm just a silly. I'm
She's like,
being crazy.
no, I didn't see those eyes in there. It can't be.
Girl,
It can't be.
you are too far into this narrative not to understand that there could be magical orbs in a dark hole somewhere, and you need to be aware enough to take seriously your own experiences. Stop second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
Stop gaslighting yourself. If you saw orbs in the dark,
They're probably there.
girl. And you got to contend with that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a denial thing, but I didn't like when she said she did that to herself.
And I think it's because of like the unknowingness about the magic and all of that, and her being unsure, and now there could be this creature. But I think she puts the knife in again and then she doesn't see anything. So I think that's what causes her to doubt herself.
I suppose in this moment it's fine. I just whenever there are young women in books who clearly see something and then they second guess themselves either on the word of someone else or their own stuff, I just want to say to those characters, believe yourself. Like, believe your experiences. There's a certain amount of this where maybe you should take seriously your own what you're seeing, what you're experiencing. So I just wanted to shake her in that moment a little bit and be like, girl, if you think you saw eyes in the darkness, you probably did. This is all very spooky.
Yeah, so it was very interesting. She left, and then she goes and tells Nehemia that she has faked everyone's death, and because it seems like Nehemia was judging her, kind of giving her some shit for doing those things, which I don't really understand because again, she's an assassin and that's her.
That was the other thing. I can't fucking stand. They're all upset by her doing her job. You knew the whole time, you've known me. I'm an assassin. In the job description, when you sign up to be assassin and they give you the paperwork, when HR gives you your paperwork and your job description, at the top,
like John Wick, like, how
I've never seen John Wick.
You've never seen John Wick?
No.
Oh, it's so good. I'd recommend.
Okay, I gotta add it to the list. Is this above or below Beetlejuice? Because
below.
Okay, so
only
Beetlejuice
for assassin lore.
Oh, okay, assassin lore. But yeah, when they give you the job description, when they give you the HR packet, the first thing on your job description literally is killing people, and then everything else is kind of the details.
Yeah.
So when everybody's super upset about this, I have an annoyance at everyone because I say to myself, you knew what this was going to be. And also, even okay, so if she is killing people, what choice? You brought her out of Endivere.
Yeah.
You know in Aladdin, when he goes, did you rub my lamp? Did you bring me here? That's how I feel like Selena says, like, I was in Endivere. You brought me out of Endivere to do this job.
Yeah.
Now you want to give me shit? I don't think so.
And I felt like I kept being like, do they know more about her, or like are they like knowing something of the future or something, where they're like wanting her to like having like different expectations of her? That's why I'm like, why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep giving her shit about it? So it was like kind of annoying for sure.
Although I will say, of all the people that get annoyed with her, I most empathize with Nehemia.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Nehemia. I'm really trying so effing hard. Nehemia, I get it on her part because she's already involved in rebel shit.
Yeah.
She's already living outside the rules. And I think, and she says a particular comment where she was like, I thought you were ready to like get on board with this rebel shit when you told me
Yeah.
you weren't killing people for the king. Like, she has motives that are connected to being outside of the king's rule. Who I don't understand is Kale and Dorian, who are both
I think because
the
they
king
like,
of Outerland's little bitches who are
Yeah.
like, Kale, you're the king's guard.
yes.
You're doing his bidding all the time. Dorian, you're in these council meetings where you have so much power and you frequently say, I can't do anything about this. So why don't
Yeah.
you stop calling pots calling the kettle black, and why don't you go ahead and disobey the king's orders? Why don't you start that? And then once you start doing that, you could talk to me about it. Nehemia is the only is the only one really who has any wiggle room here in my mind.
Yeah.
Kale and Dorian, not so much.
Yeah, so it's very interesting, and in those moments I was just like, I don't get it. But so her and Nehemia walk both down to the tomb, and they notice constellations on the ground.
Yeah.
There's the stag from Terrasen.
Mhm.
Please tell me I said it right this
You
time.
did it, girl.
Terrasen. Okay.
Me and you, we're gonna
Okay.
as long as we hold our hands, hold each other's hand through this, you can give me a Nehemia every time I need it. I can give you a
Yes.
Terrasen.
Please, I don't want to upset the fans. So
Don't want to bring the wrath of the fandom down upon us.
yes, and then she notices an eye that seems to lead to another door or a wall, and like in the little orb of the eye, it has like a little hole, so almost like a peephole. I imagined, um, and it's funny because she sees the stag, and she has dreams of a stag in a forest
Yeah.
pretty often, which is very
Stag just keeps coming up. Weird.
Yes, and I mean I have seen artwork of like, Throne of Glass, and I have seen like this like mystical stag come up in like
Yeah.
drawings and things. So I can see how
Very
it's
interesting.
connected somehow. And Elena warns Selena again that a great evil is growing and she has to stop it. And she starts to suspect that the king is using forbidden magic, and there's like these creatures that are around the castle and things like that called the Valg. Valg. Bound to like word marks. So
yeah. It's always interesting to see the way she's putting the pieces together, because and the parts where, due to Elena's evasiveness or Mort's evasiveness or just whatever, she sees through the peephole. There's nothing on the wall, but she knows there's something there. She is getting all this information about word marks and Valg, and and the king, and it's kind of all, she knows something's happening. She's given all these bits and pieces.
yeah.
But rightfully so, it's really hard for her to put that together into a cohesive idea of what the hell is going on.
Because I feel like it's a lot of information, a lot of cryptic messages from different people.
Yeah.
Visual signs, like, and like what, 18-year-old, like me trying to like
think about me at 18.
unlock all these things and try to figure it out. Yeah, I'm sure she's just confused.
And again, I think it would make me feel lonely to feel like I'm really trying to put all this together, and I'm trying. She's got so many irons in the fire. She's trying to keep everything in balance, and people just keep giving her shit for different things.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
She needs a break.
Can I catch a break? Again, I think the one person who I empathize with most is Nehemia, who, and I think she does have a point a little bit.
Yeah.
Selena's very focused on her own safety, her own freedom, which is fair. I get it. A lot of shit's happened.
Yeah.
And I think Nehemia has a bigger vision, and I can appreciate that. Like, for her, she sees the suffering of her people. She has responsibilities. She has a power, and she's basically sort of always challenging Selena to think bigger, to do more, to be more. And I vacillate with Selena around, hasn't this girl been through enough? And like, let Selena be. And there is a lot of suffering happening. And if you can make a change in that, do you turn a blind eye to it?
Yeah. And even, it's so funny because I remember there's times where Nehemia's like, I don't know why they brought me here. and all of this. So it's like there has to be something because it's like, what does she see
Mm,
in Selena that she's just trying to guide her through this? And Nehemiah's like, oh, the future that I envision or the world that I envision is
yeah.
something. It's a lot of fortune telling here. A lot
Mm,
of
a lot of vague
yeah. It
tellings.
definitely had me like pick up on that. I'm like, there's something more here. But basically, Selena and Kale have a little birthday moment, a little birthday
Oh,
dinner,
so
which I
cute.
don't recall too much, but they just have like a little nice moment.
I think the important thing about the dinner, one is that Selena did this for Kale. I think it
Okay.
shows her tender side that she really pays attention. And Kale says that. So she basically gets all dressed up and he gets dressed up and they go to a rooftop to this like it's a garden in a glass house. What do they call that? When you
Oh, a
put plant,
greenhouse?
yes. Oh my God. Yeah, a greenhouse. I'm like, you put plants inside the glass. Um, they go to a greenhouse where she has hired a chef basically to cook them all of
Oh.
Kale's favorite foods.
Wow, this scene totally passed me.
Oh,
I wasn't in
I
it.
clocked it. I was clocking it. And uh he comments, "You've been really paying attention." And she
Hmm.
was like, "You're not as hard to read as you think you are." And he is struck by the thoughtfulness and tenderness that she shows in this celebration. And she keeps trying to downplay it. She kind of is like, I don't, it's not that big a deal. Like, I know it's not much. And he says to her, he said, "Stop trying to downplay this. This is truly the nicest thing someone has
Oh,
ever done for me."
yeah.
He says, because he has a contentious relationship with his own family. He got kicked out of his estate once he passed his, like lordship onto his younger brother. His father basically disowned him.
Hmm.
And so he says, "I've never had someone celebrate me like this. And this is the
Oh,
best birthday gift I could have received."
that's sweet.
And they have a tender, tender, sweet moment. And then they are hopping about the castle for the next week.
Okay.
Like little bunnies, just living their
Having
best.
a good old time.
Oh, yeah.
So, that happens, and then we see Dorian goes to have his fortune told.
Yeah, this friggin' carnival, which it's a
Really
crazy. It's
cool.
like, but it's spooky carnival with Baba
Oh,
Yellow Legs.
yes. I love carnival. I love
Mm.
a scary clown.
Oh.
I mean,
What?
that's why I love Pennywise, but that's what it kinda gave me spooky
Oh,
circus.
I have never heard the phrase "I love a spooky clown" in my life. I don't have any particular feelings about spooky clowns, but they're not what I would gravitate toward. But
Mm.
I
Well, some people are really scared of clowns.
oh yeah, there are people who are like, and
Yeah.
they say it's because of the it's like a neurological thing where
Oh.
oh, what do they call it? It's when there's apparently, and this is like half off the internet, so please
Okay.
note this is not like clinical research. It's all it's all based on what I see on Instagram or whatever. But there's a term for it where if you see a face that is humanoid or almost human, there's a fear
Hmm.
there. And I'll show you some videos. There's some people who do some really freaky stuff where they use makeup to just make
Yeah.
them look a little off. And it's
Mm.
hair raising, some of the stuff.
Oh.
But you're like, I'm into
Yeah, send
this.
me those videos, I wanna see.
But but I think for some folks, clowns get into that realm where it's a humanoid face, but like it doesn't look right, and
Yeah.
there's a creepiness to that.
Yeah,
Even
like
if
the
you're trying to be a
makeup
nice
and
clown,
yeah.
there's a creepiness to that. I don't have any particular feelings about clowns one way or another,
Okay.
but I don't think I'd hire a clown. Like, I don't think I would go out of my way to find a clown.
I don't think I'd hire a clown, but I like a spooky clown, you know?
You'll do like a Halloween time
Oh,
little like
yeah.
clown
I've
house.
I've always wanted to dress up like a clown.
Oh.
I can't convince, my husband to be a clown couple, so
Gotta get on that. Come on now.
yeah, he doesn't like clowns, but
different strokes for different folks.
So basically, Dorian has his fortune told. He learned that witches have magic from Fae or Valg,
Yep.
like I mentioned earlier. And she has kind of like, he has like questions for her, inquiring about magic. Clearly, it's maybe to learn more about what he's got going on. And she tells him, I would explore why magic left in the first place.
Ooh.
Okay, Yellow Legs.
Okay.
She's bringing something.
Okay, honey. Also, the whole interaction between her and Dorian, she is eating chicken bones and smacking her
picking
mouth.
Up the skin. Ooh,
I have that
gross.
thing, that misophonia thing, where if she was smacking her lips and eating chicken, I would want to kill her there. I'd be like, for nothing that you've said, but for the way you're eating that chicken,
yeah,
I want you dead. Like it. Even I couldn't even hear it, but I could read what it was like, and I didn't like it. I hated it.
Yeah, I didn't like the description of her like gross eating. I mean, like she's like a haggard person.
Yeah,
so.
And her breath is foul, and she's described really gross. And again, even the breath I could take, everything else I could take, the smacking of the lips while you're eating food, I would have strangled her.
Moving on before I throw up. So
you're like, this could get gross really fast for me.
So basically, he learns whatever he wants, or like he learns that little question.
A little tidbit.
And then goes back to Nehemia and Celaena. So Nehemia mentions that she wants to create an army against the king. She talks about wings being seen in her dreams, which is very interesting. Very interesting. And people in the valley hear wings, and scouts don't come back. Right now, I'm thinking dragons.
Interesting.
And that already has me fired up.
Okay.
Y'all know I love a dragon. So Katie cannot confirm or deny.
I am saying so non-committal about this.
So, and then now this kind of goes to another point, but the king is now interested in interrogating Nehemia. And
which, again, the king is the bad guy, and I maintain that, and I don't like him, and he's gross. I don't like. Nehemia hasn't been super, super secretive about her involvement with the rebels. So in some way, the idea that the king would want to question her, I almost wondered why it hadn't happened sooner. She's been running around doing rebel shit, and she's pretty bold with the things she says. And I thought that in the first book she got away with quite a lot.
Well, maybe because she's a princess.
I suppose, yeah, that like in diplomatic relations,
right?
And it's not surprising to me that the king would want to question her.
So that it was a thing that was going to happen, and then Nehemia is found brutally murdered in her bedroom, I believe.
Yep, on her bed.
And it's just like blood everywhere. Gross.
Yeah, very gory.
Yeah. Celaena is devastated, and she's pissed. You know, she is ready to kill anyone that is connected with this, and she learns that Kale might have been aware of some of the threats that have been made towards Nehemia, or like even like the questioning thing or being interrogated, and that he did nothing. Celaena is very mad at Kale, and that caused like a detrimental like shift in their relationship.
Oh yeah. There was something that I really loved about seeing Celaena go absolutely apeshit feral. And she was so Archer Finn and friends had captured Kale and brought him to a warehouse. So she's over in the warehouse slaying people left and right and rescuing Kale.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, tell me why Kale's strapped to a pole and he's like, you touch her and die. I'm like, what are you going to do about it, man? What are you going to do about it? Yeah. Nothing. She's out here kicking ass. Yeah. You're tied to a pole.
Doing nothing.
Lower your voice when you talk to me, okay? Yeah. And so she is over rescuing him as Nehemia is getting murdered.
Yeah.
And she finds out that about this scheme that Nehemia is going to get hurt, and she hauls ass back to the
Yeah.
castle. And I loved when she saw Nehemia was dead. She's sort of like staring into space. She can't take it in. Dorian steps in front of her, and her nails are all like cracked and bloody, and she's all wild.
Yeah.
And she just like runs her hand down his face and across his neck.
Oh.
And it's this moment of like,
is she gonna kill me right now?
yeah, like,
Yeah.
holy shit, what is happening? And then she hears Kale's voice, and she
almost kills him.
attacks Yeah. And it's very interesting, I think, to note that the person who stays her hand is Dorian, and it's via magic. She's the only one that clocks that, but he can't help himself, but
yeah,
his magic reaches out and grabs her wrist.
Huh.
Interesting. Just something to note.
You're putting a lot of thoughts in my mind. Okay, so they put Selena. I keep saying Selena. They put Selena and Kale in the dungeons.
Oh, not Kale. Just Selena goes in.
I thought he goes in there too.
He brings her there, but he drops her off. He's like, get on the hay there.
Oh, right. I think I just remember them being in there together. Yep. Okay. So I remember this quote that was mentioned. Death has been her curse, her gift, and her friend these long, long years. So how can we see that being an assassin was her only way of life for a long time? And now he or she has been conflicted with like killing people, not killing people, and now with this betrayal, she's like let loose.
Yeah, so this was partly a literary thing that I didn't love, which is there are moments that Selena, I think, acts in a way that I wouldn't imagine an assassin who's been training for 10 years would act. There's a sort of emotional vulnerability. Like, there are moments where she's like cries publicly, or she like, which I have no problem with as a person. I have no issue with you, or like she trembles in fear or other things.
Which is what an assassin wouldn't do. A like super elite assassin.
Yeah, you're an elite assassin.
Like John Wick vibes. He's not doing that.
Yeah, and there was a part of me that as I read, especially the first time I read it, as I read her faking everybody's death, I just thought to myself, would an actual assassin who has murdered many people and is very good at it, would they be this conflicted about murdering people in power in a country that is subjugating her? And there's a break in sense there for me.
That's
now,
true.
As a character, I prefer if she's not soullessly murdering people.
Right.
But I think SJM is trying to toe this line between she's a lovable character that we can get behind and get with, and she's a fucking assassin. Yeah. So there's an element of this where I don't actually see her going as far into assassin mode as I think she could go. Like, I don't see her going to the cold place, the deep, dark place, nearly as much as I would anticipate. Like, I almost picture every time she goes and does these murders, she has to like dehumanize herself. I think that would be really interesting. Like, I have to dissociate in order to do this.
That would make it more cool.
I think it, but as a YA series, as somebody like, you're trying to make this 18-year-old girl likable, or 18-year-old woman likable, and we want to be with her. I think that would make her a much more crunchy character. It would be harder to get on her team. And I think we can be more immediately on her team if she's not murdering people.
True. I feel like I would have just made her like assassin in training then, because that's what more of the vibe she gives.
Yeah. It's the thing is, I think she represents so many different things. It's almost too much. She's a pianist who can, really vibe with music. She is an assassin and also somehow a lilting woman who like gets romantically entangled, and like she's all of it. She's sort of an amalgamation of all the coolest stuff. But there are times where I just think, if you were an assassin who trained for 10 years and just came out of Vendivere, I don't know if you would be quite this tender. But what I think is true for her throughout is this idea of death as a companion, not only for herself. She has come close to death herself many times. She has seen death, she has caused death.
Mm.
Death has been around her and she's sort of been soaking in it for almost, I mean, if you're starting to train as an assassin at 8 years old, that's almost as long as you can remember.
Yeah.
So I imagine that there's a level of familiarity with death that helps her to absorb these really traumatic experiences. And you can also see the coping skills she uses to try and deal with that, this like swagger and fake confidence. And I mean, sometimes the confidence really is real and she's like, I'm the best. And you're like, yes, you are, girl. But I think some of the lack of trusting people with things, lack
Right.
of it, there's a close offedness about her true intentions, her true sort
Yeah.
of how she navigates the world and thinks about things and plans things, which I think comes out of her seeing so much death and being so close to death. So I in some ways I feel like it haunts her every step, and she maintains this swagger and this kind of lightness to her despite all of the death that she is surrounded by, which I think is a really cool showing of resilience. So
Yeah. So she's down there with Caltaine in the dungeon. And Caltaine is like still going on and kind of like I thought that Caltaine must have some type of magic or something because she keeps seeing the wings
Mm,
in her mind, just like Nehemia. So it's like a constant thing that she keeps going back and forth about. And Kale is obviously very like hurt by having her in the dungeon or like just like unsure of what to do now. So he mentions about how he didn't know how to fix what's inside of her and between them.
yeah.
So and that he lost her.
Mm.
I mean,
It's so he talks about like when she tries to kill him, he couldn't even recognize her, this darkness within her that
Yeah.
he's shocked by. And again, I'm arriving at the conclusion for Kale, and it comes up for Kale quite a bit in this book, of kind of a what did you expect, man? Like, what did you expect of a woman who has trained to be an assassin, has been an Envier, has gone through the gauntlet in the first book, and has just watched her best friend get brutally murdered? What did you think that was going to be handled with knowing her, knowing her past and her traumas and all that shit? Did you think that this was going to be like she was going to just wilt into your arms and start crying? Like there is a very rageful part of her, and I can imagine that I would also be very rageful if you had information that could have protected my best friend and instead you didn't tell me and then she got murdered. I'm going to be mad. So I think his reaction to that, his surprise about that, his judgment about that, it grates on me a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's where he's losing some brownie points. Losing some stars.
Who knows?
So, at some point Selena leaves, which I don't recall how she leaves, but
she goes into, they give her sedative water and she drinks that for a bunch of days and she gets really high to get, deal with her grief, which is an option. It's a choice you're making
herself.
And then at some point, while she's kind of numbed out, he takes her from the dungeons up to her room. And then Philippa watches over her for a while and she doesn't get out of bed for a while. And then she kind of starts coming out of herself. But it's not immediate. It takes days for her to get moving again.
Oh, yes. I wrote that in the therapy deep dive, that grief that she's experiencing.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so we could talk about that in a bit. But so basically she goes in and she grabs the sword, Damaris, from the tomb. Because now she's kind of ready to go and kill whoever killed Nehemia. Or
she's on the warpath.
She's trying to find out who did it. So she goes to Grave. who's like another assassin, and she questions him on who hired him to kill Nehemia. And she finds a riddle that said 3 things that were mentioned.
Well, and just to highlight, she also murders Grave
Oh, yeah.
brutally.
Yeah,
I
she
think it's
does.
important to highlight that because, again, it's like that
Yeah.
representation of her as this mega violent. Like, this is where the assassin comes out. I'm like, okay, this is what an assassin would do, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And she takes her time with him. She like puts knives in a bunch of different places, and she
Yeah.
rolls up to the council meeting with Graves' head and throws
Mm.
it at one of the council. It's a whole moment. And I was
Yeah.
like, see, this shit, this is the assassin.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. And again, Kale and Dorian are all in a tizzy about it. But I think she gets her vengeance.
Yeah. So that, because she wasn't able to control, and she ended up just killing him. So the riddle is, by the Valg 3 were made of the gate stone of the word. Obsidian the gods forbade, and the stone they greatly feared in grief. He hid one in the crown of her he loved so well, to keep with her where she lay down inside the starry cell. The starry cell, I wonder. The second one was hidden in a mountain of fire, where all men were forbidden, despite their great desires. Where the third lies will never be told by voice or tongue or sum of gold. So
Interesting.
that
We're back with the riddles.
we're back with the riddles.
With the riddles.
And now I think she's able to connect a lot more dots, where she feels like Nehemia knew of the tomb, and feels like Selena feels like she lied a lot. So she's also feeling a little bit back and forth on like the grief, but then also like upset that Nehemia lied a lot.
And I think because the last things that Nehemia and Selena said to each other were in anger when Nehemia was alive, at first you get a lot of grief from Selena. And then once she starts figuring out that Nehemia had irons in the fire and things going on that she didn't know about, that's when you start to see Aylin's guilt kind of emerging, and her like her allowing herself almost to be mad as well as guilt ridden.
Yeah. So she is able to the eye riddle that was mentioned earlier referred to Damaris, of like only the eye can see, or whatever that riddle was. And now finding these 3 items is like the next step.
Yeah.
Yep. So Selena visits Nehemia's grave, and she sang an ancient song.
Interesting.
That, wasn't able to know what kind of language it was or anything like that. So I wrote down, what is this language?
It's very interesting.
And I feel like I remember that Kale like watches her.
Yeah,
like
that's how we
follows her.
know that it's in a different language.
Because he doesn't understand.
He doesn't know the language. He's like, what is she? What is this?
Very suspicious.
What does that mean? Where it's like, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. That's what I'm doing this whole time. I'm like, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
But it's like moments like these where I clock it. I'm like, that has to be something else. There has to be more to that. So I'm there, even if you're not verbally telling me anything.
Okay.
So I can understand. So Selena goes and sees the witch, Baba Yellowlegs.
This nasty eating,
chicken eating,
eating, foul breathed, iron nailed, old hag of a woman.
She wants to go see her and ask her questions, and she ends up finding out that the person who has all 3 keys can control Aurelia and open the gates whenever.
Yeah.
And the witch tells her that the king may have 1 key already. That's how he has been able to take control of like the continent and all of that.
Yeah. And so one, it sort of confirms for Selena that yes, this key stuff is, that the king has a key and that it's important. And 2, Baba Yellowlegs basically confirms for her, oh, Dorian came to see me. He asked me some very interesting questions. And then Selena is like, you're not going to tell anybody about that, are you? And Baba Yellowlegs is like, I would never.
Yeah.
And Selena says, I don't believe you. And a crazy violent scene ensues. Mirrors are breaking. Shit's happening. She kills Baba Yellowlegs. And she gets for her trouble, she gets a necklace of like nail scars on her clavicle.
Dang.
Which I thought, like, of all the scars that Selena has, which are many, that would be like a very
intense one.
Stark, yeah.
Yeah.
So she kills Baba Yellowlegs.
And I feel like Baba Yellowlegs also mentions that Dorian came and asked questions as well. And like for a price, she'd be able to tell her.
Well, and that's what makes Selena kill her.
Yeah.
Is because
she doesn't want her to tell other people what Dorian's got going on or what he came to talk about.
Yeah. So Baba Yellowlegs made a big mistake there. And it cost her life.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't without a fight, for sure.
Yeah. So, there was some type of, like, attack that happened. I can't recall if it happened in one of the tombs where a creature came up and Dorian had to come and save her. I think it was in a tomb or in the dungeon.
No, it was in the catacombs under the library.
Yeah.
So remember that iron door?
Yeah.
That was like, don't go in there.
Yeah.
Selena's like, I'm going in there.
Oh, right.
And so
she goes in,
and it's hallways of doors and doors and doors and doors and doors.
Yeah.
And she's opening these iron doors, which again, this was a part where I was like, Selena, she says, there's a part of me inside of me that's telling me not to do this and to run. And she continually is opening these fucking doors. I'm like, can you have a little sense? Please. I know you're 18, but you are Adderlin's assassin. If your gut's telling you to run, probably should. But anyway, she unlocks with word marks all of these doors until she ends up under the obsidian tower clock.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And the last door is busted open and she realizes something has escaped. And this is where the eyes under the door come into play. This is where the cloaked figure in the library at one of the first scenes of the book comes into play. It's all coming together now.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all the torches go out. All the lights go out. And you see from its perspective. And what's so, I think, interesting is that the book is written from its perspective for just a couple paragraphs or a little bit.
Yeah.
And it talks about, I used to know my name and I don't anymore. And I don't know. All I know now is hunger. And I have been surviving on rats. And here is this tantalizing, delicious human who's stumbled right into my fucking lair. And so she at some point realizes, I've opened all these iron doors to something terrible. I should probably go away. Yeah. Dorian, who's also wandering the library, senses that something's off and starts running down to go get her. She starts running out because the thing
is chasing her
to be a human or a fae who has been tortured into zombification.
Yeah.
Running after her. And they run. Dorian's like, Selena. And Selena does that thing where she's like, Dorian, run. And she like grabs him by the collar and like they're trying to run out. And they get to the iron door, the last door that protects everything. And they shove it closed. But like the thing has like its claws in there. And so it's trying to get out. So they are trying to figure out how to close the door. She uses word marks for sealing, but in the process of that, Dorian's magic kind of flares up and tries to melt the door into the wall. And you learn a couple of interesting things. One is Dorian's magic up to this point has come out in a few different ways. So you're like, what are the bounds of his magic?
Yeah.
And then Selena sees it. And she already had felt it with the wrist thing, but she's like,
you have
that's magic. So they subdue this thing and they lock it away.
Yeah.
And they, in that night, everything is kept safe by their work. But there is something zombified behind that door that is still lurking.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting how in the moment in the book it's mentioned that the creature and Selena looked at each other for a moment as
Mhm.
if it calmed in that moment.
Yeah.
And Selena thinks that the creature was once a man / had a human heart. So it's like a
Yes.
humanoid creature and like
And I'm
yeah.
not gonna get into details. This is not a spoiler thing, but there were elements that reminded me of the Daughter of No World series
Oh, okay.
with a certain character. Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
couldn't I just mouthed the character's
Yeah,
name,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it couldn't remember its own name. It couldn't remember. It had been
Oh,
tortured
that's
and torn
right.
apart and put back together again and again so many times that it was
Yeah.
this just husk of a being, and it only
Mm.
knew hunger. And so it
That's
was
so
very
true. Go listen to our Daughter of No Worlds
yeah,
episode
if you
if
want
you wanna
more
connect what we're talking about.
if you want more content regarding the inescapable depravity that comes with being torn apart and put back together over millennia, and you want to see what that does to a person, go listen to our Daughter of No Worlds
Yes.
episodes.
You know that's our top listen episode.
I did not know
That
that.
it's, like, so cool. Yeah.
Oh, shout out.
Lots of people
Love
love
that.
that one.
Love that.
So, yeah, so basically Dorian saves her and now, now they're gonna kinda question and, like, where'd his magic come from. So, it was mentioned that Kaltain was taken to Morath to marry the Duke.
Interesting.
And Selena is connecting the headaches that Kaltain had and that Roland had, that they both went to the Morath place, which is very I got it up here. I'm about to connect the dots.
Stuff's happening. And when she's in the iron door place, she starts to get pulsing headaches. That's a part of what helps her put it together. As she's getting into and under the obsidian clock,
Yeah.
her head really hurts, and I think that helps her to put that together too.
Yeah. So that's something that happens, and then she ends up back at the tomb. She's coming back at the tomb multiple times, lots of times. So she wants to figure out the carvings more, and she's able to uncover, or I guess, like, what's that language? Like that type of word where it's like, translate translate some of the carvings, and it's mentioning I am the first, and Mort's kind of helps her figure that out as well, where he's like, finally you ask a good question.
Yeah. And I think was it called an anagram of the times rift? She had to
Yeah.
rearrange the letters.
Oh,
And
okay.
it is I am the first. So she had to,
Yes.
and Mort, of course, as you bring up, super unhelpful. He's like, you finally got it, friend. And she's like, can you tell me anything helpful before I fucking figure it out myself? Please and thank you.
Yeah, so she's also able to kind of, I think with Mort's help, is able to kind of uncover that the king has siphoned or like stopped everyone else's magic, but his, with the use of the key. So that's why it's really important for her to like find all the keys, or like at least get it out of the king's hands.
Yeah. It's interesting to think about. And this is mentioned a little bit, but it's interesting to think about the fact that the only magic that is allowed is the king's magic. And that somehow Dorian, the king's son, is showing magic. That's an interesting fact, I would say. It's interesting that and that's mentioned briefly, very briefly, but interesting to think about.
Very, very.
It's interesting to consider that.
We'll pin that
We'll just
in the corkboard.
Put that in the corkboard. I'm not saying you have to do anything with that tidbit. I just want to make sure you clocked that tidbit.
Yeah.
As something that might be interesting.
I did wonder where, how is that happening? So I put other realms ? So Selena is using word marks to summon a portal in order to talk to Nehemia, because she wants to like learn more about it and like see if she can be able to talk to her.
Yep.
As she's doing that, I think she ends up being able to talk to her, and she's in another.
It's brief,
very brief,
and I kind of liked. So when Nehemia shows up, she's not happy.
Yeah,
she basically admonishes her.
Why are you doing this? This is dangerous. You can't do this again.
And the next time you do this, it's not me that's going to show up.
Oh yeah, she does.
Is the
that.
thing.
Yeah.
And she talks to Fleetfoot a little bit, who misses her because
Oh.
Fleetfoot's there.
Fleetfoot is so cute.
So cute. And Nehemia basically says, we don't have time to talk about whatever it is you came here to say. I'm telling you, don't do this again. I'm also telling you, do not let that light inside of you go out.
Mm.
Another thing she says.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So many little Easter eggs or breadcrumbs.
Something is happening.
So Archer shows up because he has been he's been tracking her and
he's been following her around apparently.
Yeah. So and he has a tattoo symbol on his wrist that Selena notices, and she remembers that Nehemia wrote that in like her journal or in like a book that she had in her room saying do not trust, and then it was like the little symbol, which and in the moment Selena couldn't really figure out what the symbol was or like who she meant.
And she thought initially it was the crest of Otterlin, which is a wyvern. But it looked a little warped.
Yeah.
And so she thought it was just a messed up crest of Otterland of a wyvern. And it turns out it was Archer's. Instead of a messed up, he had something that looked similar, but a wyvern. Interesting.
So in that moment, right, which a wyvern is like similar to a dragon.
Some would say, yeah.
Some would say. You are like Oscar winning.
Let me just say this. You're lucky you have me on this journey, because when I read it, I had nobody, and
oh my goodness,
so much shit went over my head because I was so focused on Dorian or Kale.
That is like the least thing I care about at this point.
I understand, because you have the benefit of going through this in this way. For me, as I was reading it, Dorian or Kale. And when is the spice going to happen? Those were my top priorities the first time I read it. That's my mistake.
Yeah.
But I just want to make sure that you're clocking.
Oh, yeah.
Things, and I'm not bringing up anything that's not brought up.
Already brought up, yeah.
I'm just popping up out of the hedges to be like,
that's important.
Oh, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, oh, look at that. Notice that. Huh, weird. Bye. And I just sort of like,
that's why I love that you've read this like 3 times, so we can be able to have like these like,
it's just interesting. It's just something that was written down that I noticed.
Yes.
So do that with that what you will.
So Archer shows up and kind of like they're trying to figure out what's going on and all of that. She ends up kind of like following Nehemia's advice of like not trusting him. She pierces him with her knife, and then immediately like a creature shows up. So something connected to him and another creature.
Well, so what happens is she opens the portal.
Oh,
She's trying to close the portal. So opens portal. Nehemia shows up. Nehemia says,
"Oh, that's right.
Naughty, naughty." Nehemia bounces. Portal's still open.
And then Archer shows up.
Well, Archer shows up, starts acting weird. Selena tries to wipe away the marks. Weird, they don't wipe away. Now she needs the Walking Dead book with all the word marks in it.
Yes.
And who's between her and the Walking Dead book? Archer, who's acting weird. And she's like, Archer, we need to close that gate. Archer has other things on his mind, and he's getting in the way.
Yeah.
The longer that portal stays open, because it's a portal, it's a land behind there. You can look through it and see a different land.
Yeah.
And she's like, portal, 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 portal. Archer is like, you know about word marks. He's popping off. She's like, we are in danger.
Whatever he's trying to say is not important
we're in
the
danger.
Moment. Yeah.
Well, and he's trying to convince her to handle things his way.
Yeah. And he does end up saying that he was the one that killed Nehemia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one that
posed as like Minister
Mullison.
Yeah.
Mullison
or something like that. So he kind of paints the picture and like brings a lot of that to light. And this like creature shows up from the portal and now is
Well,
an
and
issue.
she tries to convince Archer that she's on his side. She's like, yes, you're right.
Mm,
We've been wronged. We should have all the word keys because that's what he wants to do. He wants to collect the word keys and wield them himself. And
yeah.
she knows that's big bad. And so she's like, yes, you're right. And she gets close, and then tries to kill him. And he squiggles away and
Yeah.
takes the book. And all of a sudden, the creatures, the monsters from that other world, start making their way downtown.
Walking
fast,
fast,
strangers
fast, and I'm home now.
And as soon as the Ritterak or the big bad comes through,
Yeah.
she's trying to fight him off, and Archer, the most unhelpful asshat of all time, takes the Walking Dead book, which has the closing portal spell, and he runs with the book away, and she can't run away because
The portal's still open.
And who has come to help her with that? Because somebody had a dream. Dorian had a dream.
Yes, all of a sudden he had a random dream.
A really weird dream that she was in danger.
I wonder how that's connected.
Interesting.
So he went to grab Kale.
Mm-hmm. You went backwards on that.
He went to grab Kale because he's like, whoa, I had a dream and I think Selena's in trouble.
Yeah.
And they went to go down and save her. They went down to the tombs
and Fleetfoot's there still.
Yeah.
Which stresses me out.
Because Fleetfoot goes through the portal or something.
Well, so Fleetfoot's trying to defend her. Fleetfoot gets dragged.
Yeah.
Is getting dragged back to the portal.
Oh, that was so sad.
And Kale
runs in.
Dorian's trying to pull Aelin up the stairs to get her away. She's like, stop. And she's already been fighting the monster, so she's kind of weakened.
Yeah.
But she says, Fleetfoot's still down there. Kale hears her shouting Fleetfoot. So Kale's like, fuck, we got to get the dog. So Kale is fighting the monster to try to get him and Fleetfoot out.
Yeah.
Aelin gets sick of Dorian's bullshit trying to pull her away. She knocks him out and then runs in and into the portal.
Yes, which is so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So she goes into the portal and basically has to now battle this creature. And in the battle, now lots of things are happening.
Stuff's coming together now.
So Kale is like looking at her from a distance. I think he got knocked out or hurt or something.
There's some kind of scuffle. He and Fleetfoot are closer to the exit, and Aelin is now out in front of them.
Yeah.
Trying to protect them.
So she transforms, and he mentions that she has these like canine teeth and like these superhuman speed and the Fae ears.
Oh, oopsie poopsie.
And she like becomes like, he's like, whoa, what's happening with her?
She is Fae.
And that's when she transforms.
Yeah.
And I wrote down Selena is Fae.
Selena, that's right.
So she battles, they're able to like escape, and she almost dies, but Dorian helps with his magic. He helps close the portal.
Oh, well, and let's not forget. So she is Fae.
Yeah.
Just want to highlight some details. That just noticing, she one casts out blue fire. She starts throwing blue fire.
Yeah.
Then she's got the Sword of Damaris.
Mm-hmm.
And she channels her fire into the Sword of Damaris.
Oh, so it's on fire.
And it lights up red hot, and there's lightning sparking along the edge of the sword.
Very cool.
And she takes it and stabs it into the dead earth as the monsters are descending. And the earth cracks open, and there's a giant chasm that opens at her power.
Yeah.
At the channeling of her power.
That's so cool.
And now there's just a little lip of land, a huge chasm, and like the door at her back.
Yeah.
And her doing that drains her. And so she collapses, and Kale grabs her by the shoulders, drags her back into Aurelia, and painfully she shifts back into her human form.
Yeah.
And Kale is scandalized by
He's like,
this.
whoa.
Dorian misses it. Dorian hasn't seen what's happened
Yeah.
because he was knocked out. So he can tell something's weird. But the door is still open. And then Dorian, as you say, Dorian and Selena together close the word gate. She uses his blood to make symbols, and it closes the gate.
Such cool like storytelling and details and just like the imagery.
Vivid imagery.
I love it.
Something to contemplate.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very interesting.
Very interesting. Moving on now.
So the portal is closed, and I can't remember. I think she was talking to Kale, where she was either Kale or Dorian, one of the two, where she was talking about her great grandmother was Faye. I think it was Kale, right?
That was a conversation that happened earlier, but it's something that Kale remembers.
Oh,
happening.
Okay.
So there's sort of this tumbling. Also, P.S. They close the gate. She goes after Archer because he has the book. He's still trying to get out of the grate.
Because she didn't kill him yet.
Yes. She goes up. She goes to kill him. They fight. She goes to kill him. He said, please, please, please don't. And then she was like, okay, I'll walk away from this. She takes a few steps away and he goes, I always knew you were a good woman. Oh,
no, that's going to make me kill you.
Now you're dead. And so she turns around. And in cold blood, knowing this is assassin behavior.
Yeah.
And she goes, no, I'm not. Kills him dead. Kale's watching. He's like, that's an assassin. Oh my God. Yeah. She lets his body drop. Takes the book. They hightail it. And then Kale tries to be schemy to everybody's annoyance. And he goes to his father, the Lord of Aniel, and he says, I think we should send Selena, you know, it's if you've read the book, you know what's going to happen.
We know already.
He says we should send Selena to Wendelin to kill the Wendelin royalty.
Yeah.
And he's doing this because now that he knows that she's Faye, he's like, it's big bad. You can't be here.
So he's doing it to protect her.
Yeah. And so she's packing up. She has a little convo with Dorian. And then she has a little convo with Kale. And she whispers something in his ear.
It's a date.
Uh-huh.
Which is a specific date when she went to the town or something.
Yes, that was it was the anniversary of her parents' death.
Yes.
That is the date. And so she whispers the date and she says, when you figure this out, you're going to hate me. But no, it was I don't regret it and I don't regret you. He says, I love you.
Oh, he does. Yeah, that's right. I have it as a she.
She takes off on the boat.
Yeah.
And he starts putting shit together.
Oh,
he's trying to make his calculations.
I think he goes to like the history of like what happened to her parents and the daughter that was presumed to be dead in like a river or something.
Yeah. And it's really interesting that she herself, Selena, was found half dead on the bank of a river.
Yeah.
And so he's calculating. And that is when we learn that Selena Sardothian is actually Aelin Ashriver Galathinius.
Oh, this is such an awesome book. There's like, again, like there's so many details that it's like you just gotta read it and like truly.
And it was something I loved. And again, I didn't track this the first time I read it, but now having read it 3 times, there are hints of that the whole effing time.
So
the
cool.
stag stuff. There's like all this stuff that's just hint. And then you get to this point and it's like, holy shit. Also, thank God that I could stop saying the name Selena and I could say the name Aelin. You all have no fucking idea how many times I've just wanted to say Aelin and I have not. So big sigh relief for me. This takes one acting task off of my list because
only one?
Yeah.
There's many more.
There's tasks.
There's lots.
There's tasks. Yeah. So I think given that we've sort of like gone through our plots and thoughts, now might be a good little time for a break.
Yes.
And when we come back, we can do our teehee moments. We can do our therapy deep dive. And Yarlin's thoughts and theories for the future. All right. See y'all in a second.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, and we're back.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get into the most anticipated
section of them all. Tee-hee. There should be like a little tee-hee horn.
Oh, I can make that
Bring
happen.
in a soundboard. We'll start making like random sound noises. Okay, good. Excellent.
But I love that one.
Honestly, that would be hilarious. Like, we each get 3 sounds that we're allowed to make during the and whenever you want to make them, you get to make. I feel like we would have excellent timing on that.
Oh, I think that's awesome.
So something to look forward to. No, don't look for it. I don't know how we make that happen, but if we can figure it out, we'll do it.
All right. So I will go through my teehees first because I feel like I have a shorter amount of them.
Okay.
You like to go deep into the whole image of the scene.
You're like, you really like to take off on the teehees.
So my first one is when Kale says, "Dance with me."
Oh. Okay.
Just that one.
Sure. Okay. Next.
I think that one.
No context.
I think that one is when I feel like she's like feeling like, oh, I just want to dance, or like nobody's dancing.
What she did, I remember this because I got aggravated at her during this moment. But then Kale was really cute. I really liked this moment from him. She's supposed to be guarding a ball. And she's like really resents having to play guard duty at these things.
Oh, yes.
And she goes out into the garden and starts waltzing alone.
Oh, yeah.
Girl!
That's when Dorian sees them dancing, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are an assassin. You have a reputation to uphold. Maybe save the waltzing by yourself to your chambers. You know, like literally she's like holding up her arms and swaying around. It's like,
it's so weird.
Girl, I would get if she was sitting out on the deck like huffing and puffing or whatever, but she's just
looking out very mysteriously,
twirling around. Yeah. And it's those moments where I'm like, oh, you're like a teenager. That's why you're out here twirling around. But like, stop doing this where everybody can see you, girly pop. My God. But Kale was very cute.
Because she's like, all I want to do at one of these things is dance and have a nice time.
And remember, she asked him to dance and he said no.
And because of their image.
Yeah. Well, this is a big moment for her.
Oh, yes.
So he's asking her to dance.
Oh.
And I like that he tells her. He doesn't ask her.
He's like, dance with me.
Dance with me, girl. And no questions. Girl, dance with me. I'll dance with you. And I don't know why, but in that moment, I'm here for it.
So this other one, again, I feel like I'm a Kale stan in most of this.
Okay.
So let me see. She says, I think this is in a goodbye thing or something.
Yeah.
You remind me of what the world ought to be, what the world can be. So Kale brushed away her tears and kissed her. The kiss obliterated her. It was like coming home or being born or suddenly, finally finding an entire half of herself she was missing.
I had this one too.
This one is when I was like, the spice turned up a notch.
We just went, ooh, like
that was so good.
You went from nothing, book
to
one,
something,
to a little something. A kiss is obliterating you. You got to be a good kisser for that to happen.
This kiss makes you feel like you're being born again.
Wow. I'm in a whole new space.
I knew I had powers, but
maybe that's Kale's magical powers. We're so focused on Dorian and what's happening with Aelin and Selena being Fae.
Yeah.
Really, Kale is out here laying it down.
He's got it.
The streets. And we're not even we're not paying homage to that. So shout out to Kale for your kissing abilities. We love to see it.
Yeah. So that was a good one. And he also says, I think this is when she's gone or something.
It's when it's after the Nehemiah death.
Oh,
Nehemiah. It's like they break up and she's not in
doing
with
well.
him anymore.
Yeah. So this one was like 50-50, like I'm into it, but also a little grossed out.
Yeah.
So this one is Kale says, he didn't let the servants change the sheets because they still smell like her.
Boy, you're out here training and sweaty every day.
Sweaty sheets.
Yeah, there's a limit, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you tried this.
Smell? How good does she smell?
Is it what in fantasy books is always she smells like citrus and sunshine no matter what. What?
No, because they have some people here smelling like amber smoke and the fucking leather bounds of
and dust bunnies.
They got some weird smells. They put a good word with like a bad word.
That's their favorite.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. I believe they start mentioning her scent later on, but
he smells like nightmares and dreams. like these fantasy books be saying shit like that.
He smells like cedar and your grandma's mothballs.
Like, great picture you painted there. I'm so attracted to him.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Yeah, clean your sheets, y'all.
Yeah, so Kale, clean your sheets.
Kale, clean your sheets. Westfall needs to get on it.
So, she has dinner with Dorian, and she says, because I have nowhere else to go. Yeah. And he says, you will always have a place here.
Oh, such a vulnerable moment. She literally is admitting, she's like, Dorian, I have nowhere to be but with you.
Yeah, no one to turn to.
And he even says, like, I take it in the way that it's meant to be taken, not as like you're my last option, which could be misconstrued that way. But
that's true.
I think she's saying it in a way as like, you are the only safe harbor that I have. And Dorian's like, let me be that safe harbor for you.
I dig that one. So now I'm turning more into Darian. Darian Stan in this one. And then he says, I won't forget you. This is towards the end.
Yeah.
When she's going to the other place.
Yeah. He won't
forget her.
And he never has.
Oh.
Shit. Oh shit.
My last one is Kale says, she says this to Kale. I'll still pick you. I'll always pick you.
And then he says,
I love you. Woo.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. He's like professing his love. She'll always pick him.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
That's why this love triangle, it got me confused.
It's fucking me up, man.
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening. Me either. I'm so confused.
Okay, your teehees.
Yes, ma'am. So there is a part where she because she spends a lot of time in Kale's chambers toward the beginning of the book. She doesn't want to go back to her chambers, obviously, because there's a secret door to all these passages, and
it's a little creepy.
Yeah, shit's constantly happening in her room, and so she's like, you know what? She's gonna hang out with Kale into the dark of the night. And she's leaving one night, and he's quote unquote sleeping on the couch. I think he was sleeping, but then he kind of heard her get up, but he was like, I'm gonna pretend to be asleep. And he says he tried not to think about last night, how the brief touch of Selena's fingers through his hair and on his face had sent a pang of desire through him so strong he wanted to grab her and pin her on the couch. Damn, boy.
Wow.
Thirsty much? You little simp.
You want me that much?
You want to pin me on the couch? I mean, boy, don't stop
Say
yourself.
less.
Yeah, but he like pretended he was asleep. He let her leave, but like this was pre them
doing anything,
doing it. Yeah, so he was holding himself back. It was a little steamy.
I feel like he shouldn't have.
I would want him to go with the flow on that one.
Go with
Just-
your feeling.
Yeah, go with your gut on this one. For me personally, seems like something I would enjoy. So
yeah, the spontaneousness of it all.
yeah, just like I brush your face and you're just wha-cha-da-da,
Exactly.
and then on the couch. Yeah.
Yes.
I pictured that. I liked that.
It may be another book that would happen.
Our fanfics that we're all writing for all of these books, where it just includes more smut.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And then there's another part where it says, and this is again from Kale's perspective. So he's a little bit of a sauce man. And he says, the smell of her, laced with mist and night, had him grazing his nose against her neck. There were other kinds of comfort that he could give her than mere words. And if she needed that kind of distraction.
Oh, yeah, I remember
That-
this one.
That.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. I love this idea of like, I will be what you need me to be. Like, let me distract you. Like,
Yes.
I'm into that. So, again, Kale, you little simp. Another one that's this is Selena acting or doing things. Her fingers were moving down his back, still digging into his muscles with a fierce kind of possession. If she kept touching him like that, his control was going to slip completely.
Oh.
Wow. We don't know what that means. We don't know what he means by that. But I just like the idea of like she's getting like possessive.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like
We want you to
gripping his
lose
muscles.
control.
Yeah, like, and he's like holding himself back in all these moments. It's like,
Just let it go.
boy, just let it go.
I was
Let
just
it
gonna say be
go.
like Frozen, but I'm like holding in my Disney.
Let it go, girl. Let it fly. The other one I had was when Selena arranges the birthday surprise for Kale.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, no one has ever done anything like this for me. That was more sweet. Then I had the kiss obliterated her moment, which we already
Yes.
discussed. And then this
Ooh.
was the most saucy moment, I feel like. And
I
like,
think so.
the most, like, I was like, oh, you little tricksy little nuggets.
Mm.
And it starts with Kale saying, you're going to have to be quiet. And then Selena reached for the knob of this like broom closet they were hiding in and opened the door, tugging him inside. I have a feeling that I'm going to be telling you that in a few moments, she purred, eyes gleaming with challenge. Kale's blood roared through him, and he followed her into the closet and wedged a broom beneath the handle.
Now that's a good one.
Like, you're both gonna have to keep quiet. It's like the exhibitionism of it, and like the like we have to be quiet, and
Yeah.
the challenge of it. She's like, well,
I
you better
think
watch yourself.
I think you're gonna have more trouble than me.
And we like
So
that. We like the
good.
sauce. So we got some good teas in there. Some
I
good
think so.
little spice, little sauce.
I think
Sauce
this
for the sauce.
it was great. It was a great time.
Yeah. So we teahed, and then Nehemia died, and then we teahed
Yeah.
no more.
Yeah, it got turned off for the rest. So now 'tis time for the therapy deep dive.
Yes.
So we have a couple of other things to mention. So the grief that we see in this book, we see that Selena experiences grief and even like a depressive episode after Nehemia was murdered.
Yeah.
She feels betrayed by Kale and feels some type of guilt. She takes the sedative in the daily water. This is where I noted that, so this is where it comes up. Knowingly, almost as a way to cope with the loss, mentioning, I take a breath, but Nehemia isn't.
Yeah.
So she's not eating, she's not speaking, she's sitting in a chair all day, seems to be catatonic, which reminds me of Bella from Twilight.
And possibilities.
I literally started singing the song in my mind. When I wrote this down, I was like, this is iconic.
Yeah.
So it reminds me of Bella from Twilight when Edward leaves and we see that she just sits in her bedroom chair all day.
Yeah.
And so back to Selena. She even seems to have suicidal ideation or plans for taking her own life after she gets the revenge of finding her killer.
Yeah.
So with this shocking loss, What can we assume about what's on Selena's mind? And mixed feelings like revenge, sadness, betrayal.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think in some ways the death of Nehemia is the straw that breaks the camel's back. All across these books, and even before these books even begin with her in Endivere,
Yeah.
she is collecting sort of traumas and deaths and brutality at the hands of other people, and time again she's picking herself up, she's piecing herself back together, she's trudging along, she's pulling herself up, and she makes a statement. I don't remember exactly the nature of the statement, but it really is just, I can't put myself back together another fucking time. I just did that.
Yeah.
And now I'm having to do it again. This is not fair. Where the hell are the gods?
Yeah.
What fairness is there in any of this? And I think in many ways, her catatonic state is a representation of her just slipping into not being okay. She's had to continue to be okay. And it hasn't been perfect, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's had emotions and she's used forms of coping that we as readers question, but there's always she's always on her way somewhere. And I think this is the moment where she kind of just lays down. She's tired, she's exhausted, she's lost so much. The brutal murder of her parents, she has only time and time again known loss. And so her experience is emblematic, I think, of what a lot of people perceive when they think of a depressive state. This is like, this is what people imagine is the Bella in a chair, Selena in bed. And for some people, it absolutely is that. And so you see her, it's the isolation, it's the exhaustion or the sleepiness, it's the suicidal ideation. All of those things are just pointing to the fact that her grief at this moment is so great that she needs a moment before she puts herself back together, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And I think in some ways, as a reader, but also as a counselor who's reading her story, I almost feel like there's a delineation between when do we diagnose for depression and when does grief naturally occur and lead you to act in depressive ways, which makes sense given grief. And so I think her going through this process is emblematic of something that someone can experience when they have sort of the cherry of loss on top of a lost sundae. It's like she's just trying to cope with grief, and this is the way that her body and her mind are doing it. And so, and I would say also, again, the timeline of these books is so fast-paced relative to what bouts of grief can look like. She patches herself back up and gets back standing and talking and interacting fairly quickly. I know that Dorian and Kale are both, and Philippa and everybody else are really worried about her, but considering everything she's been through, I think she gets to lay in bed for a week and not be okay for a little bit. And there's limits to anything. You want to make sure that folks' physical well-being is not at risk and all those things. But there was a moment in that where I was like, girl, it's okay to lay down for a little bit and kind of turn off and let your grief kind of course through you.
Yeah, so my next question was going to ask, like, what do you think would be, like, helpful for her, or any specific intervention for this type of catatonic stage, or how would you approach it for Selena? Jesus Christ.
It's like we're getting worse as we go along. Like, I'm getting further and further from pronouncing Nehemia's name right. We're just going off the rails. Listen, we're trying, okay?
Yeah.
So I think for catatonic states, one of the most challenging parts of that is that the desire and the ability for executive functioning, the ability to do tasks of life, really drops. The brain is operating, and I say that statement, the brain is operating in this way because I want us to get away from this idea that it's like a moral thing, that like you just don't want it bad enough. One of the hardest things about being catatonic for many people is you want to. In your brain, you're like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. But your body is not cooperating. Your wakefulness is not cooperating. You're tired, you're exhausted, you feel like you can't move, that you're absolutely stuck. And it has nothing to do with desire or morality and everything to do with mental health. So one of the things that we can look at when someone's in a catatonic state or when someone's experiencing depressive symptoms is to reconceptualize what we consider a goal or a win in that space. So a lot of people will say like, oh, if I go for a walk that day. But going for a walk is a huge task for some folks when you're in that place.
Just not there yet.
You're not there yet. What if we go brush our teeth? Like, what if we do a simple task?
Yeah.
Let's put that in our sights. Let's scale back our goals to the point where we can help ourselves make small wins and give us a little bit of momentum for something.
Especially hygiene.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Personal care is a big thing. If you can get in the shower, if you can drink a glass of water, if you can eat something, like all of those things are small wins that we can accrue. And we know that the self-efficacy that comes with meeting goals can also help us to kind of get out of these states.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say is that when we can give our brain a little bit of dopamine, a little bit of serotonin, like by doing these tasks, by talking to loved ones who we trust. If you're someone who loves somebody who is experiencing depressive symptoms, being able to sit with someone in their space, and sometimes it's like about not even talking or interacting. Like, I'll sit next to you while you lay down and rest. And it's about finding ways to be together and have community without the huge expectation of, okay, we're going to go out to lunch or we're going to do something big. It's like, let's sit on the couch next to each other and we don't have to talk and we don't have to do anything. We just be. And I think a lot of times folks who have social connections like that, who are willing to like scale into that and be loving and be present through that is super powerful. I will also say that catatonic states are really difficult. So it's not, I think it's, you have to be creative and you have to try different things out just to see what works for you and what works for your brain.
Yeah. Beautifully said.
Yeah.
So our next kind of therapy deep dive moment is kind of the friendship and honesty that we see throughout this book and throughout the relationship. So everybody be lying in this book.
Everybody be having secrets everywhere.
Hiding things, ulterior motives, secrets. How can we see that this is affecting the possibility of romantic relationships, friendships,
Yeah. I think there's two things that play in here. One is there are fantastical stakes at hand.
Right.
That is a plot device that is used to help us feel okay about the fact that we're lying to our friends and loved ones.
Right.
If it's for someone else's safety, or I believe it's for someone else's safety, it drives up the desire to hide something. When Selena hides that she hasn't been actually killing people, that's a protective thing. When Nehemia writes these symbols under Selena's bed and doesn't tell her what that's about, I'm trying to protect you by not telling you. Yeah. When Kale doesn't tell Nehemia or Selena about the threat to Nehemia's life, he's trying to protect them from this worry and this knowledge. Everybody's trying to protect each other from things. And while the fantastical elements make that an easier decision to make, I think if we bring this to the real world space, I think there's a lot to be said about I'm trying to protect you or do right by you by hiding something from you. And that doesn't always work. Now, every situation is different. Let me start with this. You could probably present me with an example where I think holding back information might be more helpful than giving it. And more often than not, what I find is that saying the hard thing, saying the real thing, is actually what ends up protecting you more in the end.
Yeah.
It's because it gives everybody the opportunity to make an informed decision for themselves, because I'm trusting you with information that may be hard to hear, but then you get to decide from a full perspective on what all's going on, what's going to be best for you. And that's, I think, what you see each of these characters grading against from each other is like, you're not giving me full autonomy here because you're keeping shit from me. I can't make a real decision that actually works if I only have half of the puzzle, and they're all holding puzzle pieces and they won't all give the pieces to each other.
Yeah.
And so my encouragement, again, I'm sure, and there's exceptions to every kind of generality, but is to consider in what ways a person's autonomy and being able to make full decisions for themselves is perhaps more helpful than you getting to decide what's best for them and what isn't. Trusting people to know what's best for them and to do the emotional work to say the hard thing can sometimes be more effective and more meaningful than me deciding for you what you deserve to know and not, and being the arbiter of truth that's going to affect the way you make decisions.
Right. And even just holding that weight of making this like, I mean, obviously we're talking about a fantastical thing here, but like holding on that decision making for other people, like that's a lot.
And a little bit like, who do you think you are? You know what I mean? Like, what
They don't know each other that well.
Yeah. Like, what great power do you have over other people that you get to decide what they know and what they don't know? So
yeah,
I think what you're seeing is 4 people, and the 4 people I'm talking about are Nehemia, Dorian, Kale, and Selena, who are all thinking they know better or that they know something that just can't come out.
Right.
And they're all trying to get close to one another when they will not share with each other the real circumstances of what it is they're dealing with. Again, there are fantastical reasons for that, and some of which I support, but some of which I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be specific about that because
to be determined later.
TBD, to be discussed. We almost need to do an episode at the very end of all of this where we go back to clips of us talking about these books and me just being like, this is what I wanted to say. Like,
that would be so funny.
I want to be able to go back and be like, this is the thing I was holding back. So yeah, but I'm going to keep it to myself for now until we get to do that episode.
Okay. So now it is time for my future thoughts and theories. Because, you've got your own.
You
already know.
I don't know anything, but I just feel like it's better if you share and I don't. And I'm just going to sit here and absorb all the thoughts and theories.
All right. So my first one is, wow. Can't wait to hear more about how the story continues. And I'm locked in.
You're locked in. You're locked and loaded. We went from 2 stars to 5 and we're here, folks.
I truly.
It's a real rev and now we're going.
I'm excited to see the Dorian and Aelin love.
Oh, is this a statement?
I think I switched over to Dorian.
Oh shoot. Okay, so Team Dorian, you think they're endgame?
I could feel it because there's another kind of future thought and theory of like, I feel like Dorian is Fae. I feel like they may be fated mates.
Oh shit. Okay.
There's got to be something with them too, and like, why is he having dreams and like knowing that she's in trouble? There's something connected there. Fated mates is something Sarah J. Maas likes to do.
That she does.
So
you think Dorian and Aelin are fated mates, and that Dorian is endgame?
Yeah.
That is your final decision.
But when you kind of need me to confirm like that, it has me doubt myself. But
I don't know.
I'm gonna say that right now.
You be confident, girl. I'm just rephrasing what I'm just doing a complex reflection of what you just said.
But you're looking at me with those eyes like, girl.
So that is your decision.
That is my decision for this one. And I would love to know how Aelin will claim her throne and confront the king.
Oh, you think she's gonna, what do you think? Like, how is she gonna do that?
Well, Dorian is like the prince.
Okay.
And
Okay. And if he's Fae and they're together,
I would see a marriage coming together.
oh shit.
Something to rule.
Okay.
I can see that.
Okay, so they
happen.
rule, like, they sort of co-rule.
Yes.
Terrasen and Adarlan. And what happens to the king?
I think someone kills him.
He did?
Yeah. He's got put him in the dungeon with the creatures. Maybe he turns into one of those creatures.
Oh, so he turns into
I think that'd be
one
nice.
of the things that came out of the portal.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did they call him?
Well, there's the Ritterak,
no
or there's the Valg, or there's
I think maybe turning into a Valg.
Okay.
Something.
So he turns into a Valg. Did they put him in the dungeon before he turns into a Valg or after?
They put him in the dungeon for holding for a bit.
Okay. They're like, you're in timeout. Okay. So they put him in the dungeon. He's in timeout. And then
because I would feel that Dorian is like conflicted with deciding on like what to do.
Because it's his own dad.
It's his own dad, even though he kind of sucks.
Even though he's an asshole.
So those are my theories. I feel like they will come together. I don't know what's going to happen with Kale, though.
Oh, that's a good question. What do you think is going to happen to Kale?
I don't know.
If you like had to guess.
If I had to guess, I think he'll keep serving as a Kingsguard or something.
Okay. So he's just single Pringle Kingsguard.
I'll find someone else.
Okay. So
I think Aelin is like, she deserves a little better than him in a way.
Okay. What about him? Like, what about him kind of, you think she's better than him?
I feel like he, it seems like he loves her, but there may be something where he's like not feeling like it'll be endgame for them.
Okay.
She's got all these magical powers. Maybe he doesn't feel good enough.
Oh, he's just a little human squib. He's just a little human.
He'll probably just stay as a friend.
Okay. Nice, good friendship vibes.
Yeah.
Dorian's endgame. He's also Fae. They co-rule.
Yes.
Adarlan and Terrasen.
Yeah.
And Daddy Dorian is in the dungeons.
He's tending to the dungeons, maybe watching the portals or something.
Oh.
Like maybe he's like one of those like the army guy, like the protector of the castle.
The dad?
No, like protector of like the castle.
Oh.
Or something.
The king?
No, I'm talking about Kale.
Kale. Okay.
He'll be like the protector of like the army and the castle and be that guy.
So he'll like rise in ranks to like general or something.
Yeah.
Now he's general. Dorian, Aelin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
that heard it here first.
I can't wait to find out the truth.
We locked it down. We got it. I love that.
Okay. So that
you're like, I feel like I'm being led into a trap.
For real, I can't read you. You're good.
I'm doing so good out here.
So that was Crown of Midnight.
Crown of Midnight, y'all.
That was
a journey.
Amazing time.
Yeah.
So some of the final remarks of remembering that this podcast is for entertainment purposes, and any clinical knowledge that we shared is not to be used as professional treatment or diagnosis. Please seek out your own mental health care as needed. This is for entertainment, for fun, a good old time.
Yeah.
Our next episode will be Heir of Fire.
Heir of Fire. Remember, we're following
chronological.
Well, no, we're following publication order.
Order. Yes.
So what'll happen is we'll read Heir of Fire, which follows this.
Mm-hmm.
Then Assassin's Blade is a prequel, and then we'll come back after the Assassin's Blade.
Yes.
So next one is Heir of Fire. If you want to keep up to date on everything Fae and Fables, you can follow us at Fae and Fables Pod on Instagram. You can email us, Fae and Fables Pod. We can't even say anything anymore. We're disintegrating right before our own eyes.
It's a day for sure.
Yeah. faeandfablepod@gmail.com. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Push all the like buttons and the interactions in the comments.
That'll help us out. And that'll gear us to making merch.
Oh,
I would love to start that designing process from some of our wonderful quotes that we say.
Oh yes. Oh yes. We're in the creative stage of making out some merch, so be
Yeah.
on the lookout.
Be on the lookout, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.